All right, so some of you guys are interested in this new format we're calling heroic. And I know last week's video, we kind of said a lot in there, but I'm going to make this video to clearly go through the rules and where we are with the format. Now, before jumping in the rules though, I do want to just talk about a couple things. The reason why we're trying this format, yes, I know everybody says it's not Commander, it's not Magic, but hey, we're just trying something new. We all love to play competitively, 1 versus 1 and things like that, but we don't get to use most of our collection. So this is just a new fun format. We're trying it out. If it works, it works. And so far, well, it's worked. It's pretty good. So if you want to know about the rules, just follow along. And if you have any comments about it, leave them down below. Let us know your thoughts on it and let us know if there's any of these rules you would tweak or change, because yeah, this is an evolving format and it will change over time as we get more reps in it, we get more people playing it and giving us more feedback. Now, the first thing is your deck is going to be 100 cards. The entire deck put together is 100 cards, and it's going to be made up of 2 different things: your storyboard and your actual deck. Your storyboard is going to consist of 3 cards. These cards are going to be special cards. They're going to be your hero, your sidekick, and your iconic song. So your hero needs to be a legendary character. Now, when it comes to heroes, yes, currently it is a legendary character. Now, we know that some people have given us feedback saying they're not really sure about the legendary aspect of it. They're wanting to be something else, and we're hearing you guys. We may change this, we may tweak it in the future, but as of now, it's going to be a legendary character. Next up is your sidekick. Now, your sidekick, yeah, it's any character in the game as long as it has the subtype of ally. And the last card is your iconic song. Now, this song has to be singable by your hero. So as long as your hero can sing this song, you're good to go. You don't have to sing it every time you play it. It can be played for ink, but the stipulation of selecting the song is it has to be singable by your hero. Now, to give a little perspective, because I've seen this question coming up a lot, is the deck's colors. So these 3 cards that you're selecting, these are going to be the identity of your deck. Meaning you can put any card in your 97, the remaining cards to make up the 100, as long as they match the color of one of your 3 cards. So if all 3 cards are the same color, well, your 97 all have to be that color. But you can have 1 color, 2 colors, or even 3 colors. It just comes down to your storyboard and what colors make up your 3 cards in your storyboard. Now, as for the 100 cards, it is singleton, meaning you can only use each card once. There is one card that, yes, gets around this rule currently, which is the Dalmatian puppy. It has specific text on the card, allowing you to have more than one, or really as many as you want in the deck. And yeah, that's going to be true for heroic. You can have multiple Dalmatian puppies in your deck, but every other card needs to be 1 copy. This includes no overlap between your storyboard and the 97. All 100 cards need to be unique. So let's talk about the storyboard. Well, normally when you're playing, you have your hand of cards, starting off with 7 cards. You're going to do the same thing here, but those 3 special cards that we talked about, your hero, your sidekick, and your iconic song, they're going to sit right outside. These are not in your hand, but they can be played at any time. So as long as you have enough ink, you can cast your storyboard cards on your turn at any time. Once you cast them, well, we're going to add a tax on it. This is the ink tax. So each time you cast any of your 3 cards, this count is going to go up, and your next card that you're going to play is going to cost 1 more. So whatever the cost is plus the ink tax, that's how much it's going to cost to be able to play this card the next turn. And then again, the ink tax goes up and then up and then up each time you play one of these 3 cards. This is a cumulative cost, so you just really need to be aware of how many times you're playing that song, how many times you're playing your hero. Do you want to play your song before your hero? All of these things matter, and this is why we like the tax to be cumulative, because it really does make your decision process a little bit different. Now, when it comes to having these cards and them getting banished or anything like that, well, you have a choice. So as you play your hero or your ally, once they are banished, you have the choice of either putting this card into your discard pile or returning it back to your storyboard. There may be reasons you want it to go to discard, or maybe there's a card bouncing it back to your hand. You may want to put it in your hand. That way you don't have the ink tax and you can play it from your hand for its normal cost. But there's other reasons why you may want it to just go to your storyboard. That way you have access to it. Now, the thing that makes this format a lot more fun than just 1v1 is it's free for all. This is an up to 4-player game. I mean, technically you can play with even more than that, but this is free for all and it is the first person to get to 30 lore. There's aspects to this particular format where, yes, there are politics and things like that. You know, I won't attack you as long as you don't attack me, or who has a removal for that particular item. And these things give this format a different feel than your normal single player or even multiplayer format because, well, you're having to work together, but not work together. Yeah, you're just trying to get to 30 lore as quick as possible. Now, we did talk about the ink tax, and I just want to remind a couple little specialties when it comes to this. When it's a song, you can still sing the song even with ink tax. So let's say you have a song that costs 3, like Friends on the Other Side. You've already used it twice, and now it costs 5. Maybe you've even used your hero once and it costs 6. This can still be sung, but it's going to cost 6 to be able to be sung. So you're going to need somebody that has singing power 6 in order to sing this song. When it comes to singing and it comes to songs, we are truly just looking at the cost of the song plus the ink, and that's the new cost of this card. But Shift's a little different. Shift is on the body of a card, and so we're looking at that being its own cost. Now, when you have something like, let's say, Shift 5 on your Aladdin, this can get around your ink tax. Because it costs 5, well, you can just pay 5 and shift it onto another Aladdin. The cost here, though, is you need to have an Aladdin on the field, and this may be trickier than you think when you only get to have one copy of each card in your deck. This is the reason why Shift is not being modified compared to your songs, because again, we're modifying the actual cost of the card, nothing within the text of the card. So lastly, it's the bans and watch list. Yes, we've played a lot of games so far and we've tested a lot of cards. And the only card that's really seemed like a big problem so far has been A Whole New World. Drawing that card in your 97, it doesn't feel too bad. You know, yes, you have to discard your hand and draw 7, but it usually only hits you once and it's not that big of a deal. With it being an iconic song, though, and being able to be sung and played multiple times, well, that eats through cards, that eats through your deck, and realistically, this is the reason why we've put it on the ban list, specifically in the storyboard. Some of the criteria we're looking at when it comes to bans is, 1, is it too powerful? Yeah, there are some cards that are too powerful, and they may make one of these ban lists, especially in the future, just because of that. The second thing we're looking at is, does this cause any kind of diversity issues in the game? So are we seeing the same hero always being played, the same ally always being played, and is that causing a problem? Well, if that's the case, then this may be a card that gets banned, but as of now, nothing really meets that criteria, but we'll find out over time if there is a particular card that's always being used in one of those slots. The last one is, was the card just unfun? And realistically, this is kind of where A Whole New World comes into play. It's too powerful, but it's also unfun. Nobody likes discarding their hand and drawing cards, especially when you only have one ofs in your entire deck, and you know, having that happen pretty early and then discarding 5 cards that you really wanted to play that now you no longer can play. Yeah, it was unfun. So that's going to be our third criteria. If there's just a card that's unfun and the community agrees it's unfun, then that would also give a reason to be on the ban list. And the last thing when it comes to bans is, well, we have a watch list. These are going to be cards that we're going to keep an eye on, and we're going to be listening to the community when it comes to these to know if, yeah, do they need a full ban? Do they need a ban just in the storyboard? How do we feel about the card? And so far, we do have 3 cards that are on the watch list currently. The first one is Mufasa. Yeah, this one is on the watch list specifically for hero. I don't think it's too bad, but we do need to see if it's being overplayed in that particular slot or if it ends up being too powerful. The fact that it also gets to get your ink back and it gets to untap your ink so you can play even more stuff is a little strong, but as of right now, we haven't warranted a ban. We've played with him many times and he's never really felt too overpowered, but he is one of those cards we wanted to put on the watch list. The second card that we have on the watch list is Diablo. Now, Diablo being in your hero seems pretty rough, but realistically, what we're eyeballing him at is the ally slot. We have a concern that he's going to be one of the cards that gets used a lot in the ally slot. So we're just keeping an eye on him to see if this is going to cause any issues with diversity, because he truly is one of the better allies that you can have. And yeah, we don't want to make sure that everybody's just playing Emerald as their ally with Diablo there. So if that becomes a problem, yeah, we may take some action. But as of right now, he's just on the watch list in the ally slot for your storyboard. And the last card is Be Prepared. It's on the watch list. A lot of people have had concerns about this card, so we are putting it there, and we are going to be watching it as your iconic song. Again, all three of these cards I've mentioned on the watch list, they're totally fine in your 97. We don't have an issue with them actually in the format. We just want to be cautious when they're being overused, and that is what's going to happen in some of the storyboard. So we hope that the ink tax and the cumulative tax that's going to be happening there can potentially, be okay for these cards. Again, eventually it's just going to cost too much to put out a Diablo, or it's going to cost too much to be able to Be Prepared. Yes, you can do it turn after turn after turn, but you're not helping your board, so it's just not needed. Again, we're just going to be keeping an eye on these cards, and currently this is our watch list. If you want to check out all of this stuff, if you want to let us know your opinions, definitely check out the official Discord, I guess the unofficial official Discord that we've got set up. The link for the invite will be in the description below, where you can come hang out with us. All the Incast stuff's going to be there, so please reach out, communicate with us, let us know what kind of videos you want to see, things like that. We've also got normal Lorcana stuff going on over there. Maybe you want to show off a deck list, maybe you want to show off custom cards, whatever it may be. We have sections for everybody when it comes to Lorcana. Again, we just want to say a big thank you for all you guys that have been supporting the channel by hitting that sub button, leaving comments and all of that. We loved giving away the D23 to the lucky winner, the Lorcana Fanatics, for getting that prize. And again, we're going to have many more giveaways coming, so definitely stay tuned as we do those. If you haven't already, hit that sub button, leave a comment on the video, let us know what you think about the format. Again, we've been seeing, positive, negative, whatever. The whole thing is, it's great to help out this format. Even if you have negative thoughts around it, that's totally fine. But if you want to give it a shot, definitely give it a shot, because it is a lot of fun and it's just something different. So until next time, guys, I'll take it easy.